3:17 a.m. You're lying in bed. The room is dark, your body is exhausted, and technically you should have been asleep hours ago. But your brain has other plans. Because out of nowhere, with zero warning and zero provocation, your mind decides that right now, in this exact moment, is the perfect time to remind you of that one time in 7th grade when you called your teacher mom. Or that email you sent 3 years ago where you accidentally wrote, "best retards," instead of "best regards." Or that party in 2019 where you went in for a hug and the other person went in for a handshake, and your hand ended up somewhere in the general region of their ribcage, and you physically cringe. Like, your whole body does that little convulsion. You pull the blanket over your face. You whisper, "Oh my God," into the darkness. And you lie there wondering why is your brain still filing this incident under urgent review immediately 9 years later? And if this is you, if you have an entire mental Netflix library of embarrassing moments that your brain loves to autoplay at the worst possible times, I need you to hear something really important. You are not broken. You are not anxious. You are not obsessive. You are wired in a very specific, very sophisticated way, and once you understand what's actually happening in that brain of yours, you're never going to feel bad about this again. Because what most people call cringe loops is actually one of the most advanced cognitive processes the human brain is capable of running. And today we're going to unpack exactly why your brain does this, what it's secretly doing for you, and why the people who experience this the most intensely tend to be some of the most socially intelligent humans on the planet. So get comfortable, because by the end of this video, that 3 a.m. replay session is going to feel less like a curse and more like a secret software update running in the background. Let's start with number 1. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's running maintenance. There's a network in your brain called the default mode network, or DMN for short. This is the system that lights up when you're not actively focused on a task, when you're showering, when you're driving on autopilot, and yes, when you're trying to fall asleep. And one of the main things the default mode network does is something neuroscientists call autobiographical processing. It takes the raw footage of your life, especially your social interactions, and it edits, reviews, and files it. Think of it like the editor working the night shift at a movie studio, going through every scene you shot that day, that week, that decade, and deciding what needs to be recut, what lessons need to be extracted, and what needs to be remembered for next time. So when that handshake hug disaster comes floating back at 3 a.m., your brain isn't torturing you. It's literally refining your social operating system. The reason it feels so intense is because your default mode network is unusually active and unusually detailed. Most people's editors are lazy. They leave the bloopers on the cutting room floor. Your editor watches every blooper in 4K slow motion, frame by frame, searching for data. That's not a bug. That's a feature. It's just a feature that happens to run on a really annoying schedule. Which brings us to number 2. You're not overthinking. You're oversimulating. And there's a massive difference. Overthinking is when you spin in circles with no output. Simulation is when your brain is running predictive models to prepare you for future situations. Here's what's actually happening. When your brain replays that cringy memory, it's not just remembering. It's asking a series of very sophisticated questions. What signal did I miss? What did their facial expression actually mean? What should I have said? What will I say next time? This is a cognitive process called counterfactual thinking, and it's directly linked to social intelligence. Studies have shown that people who engage in high levels of counterfactual thinking tend to have stronger theory of mind, which is the ability to understand what other people are thinking and feeling. So while you're lying in bed at 3 a.m. cringing about how you said "you too" when the waiter told you to enjoy your meal, your brain is actually doing the cognitive equivalent of a chess grandmaster reviewing their losses. It's not stuck. It's studying. It's building a database of social nuance that most people never bother to compile. And that is why, in real time, you often pick up on micro-expressions, tones, and vibes that other people completely miss. Your psychology is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and those 3 a.m. sessions are your training montage. Number 3. There's a chemical reason this happens at night specifically, and it has almost nothing to do with anxiety. During the day, your brain is flooded with stimulation. Meetings, notifications, conversations, tasks, traffic. Your prefrontal cortex is working overtime just to keep up, which means there's no bandwidth left for deep reflection. But at night, when the lights go out and the input stops, your brain's priority system completely reshuffles. Cortisol drops. Your sensory processing quiets down. And suddenly, that default mode network we talked about gets full access to the processor. It's like closing 47 tabs on your computer. Now the one tab that was lagging finally gets to load, and unfortunately, that tab is titled All the Awkward Things You've Ever Done, a comprehensive archive. On top of that, your brain has something called the salience network, which tags certain memories as emotionally significant. Embarrassing moments get tagged hard because social rejection, even the mild imagined kind, activates the same neural regions as physical pain. Your brain treats a failed handshake with the same filing priority as touching a hot stove. It's an evolutionary holdover from when being rejected by your tribe literally meant death. So at night, when there's no other urgent input, your brain dusts off these high-priority files and reviews them because, from an evolutionary standpoint, not learning from social rejection was actually more dangerous than a wild animal attack. Your brain is not being dramatic. Your brain is being ancient. Number 4, and this one is going to reframe everything for you. The intensity of your cringe is directly proportional to your capacity for empathy. Let that sink in. The reason that memory from 2015 still makes you physically recoil is because you have an unusually developed ability to see yourself through other people's eyes. This is called perspective taking, and it requires a brain region called the temporoparietal junction to work overtime. Most people can barely imagine how they look to others. You can imagine it in vivid, painful, high-definition detail. You can feel what that person in the memory felt when they watched you do the cringy thing. You can inhabit their point of view so completely that you experience secondhand embarrassment about your own past self. That is not a weakness. That is an extraordinarily sophisticated cognitive ability. People who score high on empathy measures consistently report more frequent and more intense cringe recall. It's like everyone else is watching their life in 480p, and you're stuck with an 8K IMAX experience of your own worst moments. The catch is, this same ability is what makes you the friend people come to when they need to feel understood. It's what makes you good at reading rooms, noticing when someone's fine actually means not fine, and picking up on the subtle social cues that others steamroll right past. The cringe is the tax you pay for the superpower. Number 5. Here's the part nobody tells you. These 3 a.m. replays are not random. They are almost always thematic. If you pay attention, you'll notice that your brain tends to recycle specific categories of memories. Maybe it's always moments where you felt you weren't taken seriously. Maybe it's times you overshared and felt exposed. Maybe it's interactions where you suspect you came across as arrogant or cold. Your brain isn't randomly torturing you. It's pointing at your unresolved values. It's saying, hey, this matters to you and we haven't fully processed it yet. A researcher named Tim Wilson has done fascinating work showing that the mind will return to the same content over and over until meaning has been made from it. So the next time a memory loops, instead of cringing and trying to push it away, try asking yourself, what does my brain think I haven't learned yet? What value is hiding inside this embarrassment? Because 9 times out of 10, underneath the cringe is actually a piece of information about who you want to be. The awkward hug wasn't about the hug. It was about wanting to be the kind of person who handles social situations with grace. The embarrassing email wasn't about the email. It was about wanting to be taken seriously. Your cringe loops are essentially a map to your deepest values, disguised as a horror movie marathon. So here's where I want to leave you. The next time it's 3 a.m. and your brain serves you that greatest hits compilation of every awkward moment you've ever lived through, I want you to remember something. You are not anxious. You are not broken. You are not obsessive. You have a highly active default mode network, sophisticated counterfactual thinking, above-average empathy, and a brain that is literally trying to help you become a more socially intelligent version of yourself. You're not stuck in the past. You're upgrading your future self using the past as training data. That's not a disorder. That's a gift with terrible timing. Now I'm genuinely curious. Tell me in the comments, are you team, I still cringe about things from a decade ago? Or team, I forget everything within 24 hours? I have a feeling the comments section is about to become a support group, and honestly, I'm here for it. If this video made you feel a little less alone in your 3 a.m. brain gymnastics, hit that subscribe button because we unpack this kind of stuff every single week. And if you want to go even deeper into the hidden superpowers your brain thinks are flaws, click the next video on the screen right now. I think you're going to see yourself in it. I'll see you there.